Greetings everybody. In this video I will talk about the Digital Race Engineer, which is a voice command and feedback system for iRacing utilizing VoiceAttack. More specifically, I would like to run down the most major changes that has come to the Digital Race Engineer since I launched it in July. And so far we've had 4 updates to it, so I would like to just pull out the main differences between the very first version. Alright, so moving on to version 1.2. 1.2 mainly consists of fixes and doesn't really contain any features being added to Dre. But nonetheless, I want to just point out some of the big fixes, and that includes fixes to the proximity alerts, where you are closing in on other cars or they are closing in on you. Also, something that got fixed was regarding fuel levels and fuel calculations, where you can now request the fuel in either kilos or pounds. And previously it was only liters or gallons. Fuel left.
There's 7.91 gallons left in tank.
Fuel left in pounds.
We have 49.5 pounds left in tank.
And this means that you can also request to set the fuel to, for example, 75 kilos instead of liters, and then it will automatically convert this inside of its logic. And finally, I fixed some weather bugs where it now checks every 5 minutes for weather changes, and that includes wind strength, air temperature, track temperature, air pressure and humidity, which means in the future when iRacing implements a proper weather system, Dre should automatically warn you whenever, for example, the air pressure suddenly drops, which can be a great spotter for example, rain coming. 1.3, the latest update, that does include some feature additions. For example, I've made versioning control much more secure because you're using a Dre profile for VoiceAttack and you're also using a Dre plugin. And so I added in this feature where it will check if you have the latest version, and if your profile and your plugin versions mismatch, so it will give you a heads up on that.
Initializing Dre. Version mismatch. The plugin version is 1.4 but the profile version is 1.3. Please make sure both plugin and the DRE profile in VoiceAttack is fully updated. Initialization will not continue.
Also, I added this feature for hosted sessions where if you run all cars in one class, it will pass through all the cars in the session and see if there are different cars actually in the same class. So for example, if you have an HBD and 2 GT3 cars, but they are all in one class, Dre will consider this as that the prototype class consists only of the HBD, and there's another class consisting of the 2 other GT3 cars. A neat thing I've also implemented is if you kill the engine manually, you won't get any engine warnings. And this is quite useful, especially in oval racing, where I suppose you want to save some fuel for the end, or maybe cool the engine down while you have a lot of safety cars. And if you kill the engine now, you won't get these warnings anymore. Kill engine.
Ignition turned off.
Start engine.
Igniting engine.
And finally, there's a major fix for the fuel calculations, where it will now consider you having to do an extra lap after the timer has sort of gone down to 0 minutes, 0 seconds left, in case you are not the leader, because then you probably have to do almost a full complete lap after this timer is down. So the Dre fuel calculations now include one extra lap at the end of time certain sessions. And that's about it for this video. I hope you liked it. Give it a like if you like, and please subscribe to me. Thanks for watching.